So are you headphones or no headphones?
Whatever you want.
No, whatever you want.
I don't care.
You know what? Let's not. I don't want to mess up your hair. No, I'm serious.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's off the table then. Oh.
Sorry, let me just get...
No, do what you gotta do. Yeah. This headache finally just fucking stopped. That's what happens when you day drink.
You were day drinking?
Well, I mean, I was doing stuff around the house. I was cleaning the house and doing laundry and shit and listening to podcasts, and that's all I listen to anymore. I don't fucking listen to music. I haven't listened to music in forever.
Really?
Yeah. Which Tommy never understands. He's just like, dude, like, you got me into half the stuff that I used to listen to. I'm like, I know, but I don't know.
I couldn't fucking get through my life without music.
But you find a lot of new artists and stuff you like, right?
I do. And it's weird. Like, I've been really into like a lot of the new pop music too, which is different for me because like I went from, you know, all the pop punk stuff, right. which I still fucking adore and listen to all the time. For sure. But like, you know, Julia Michaels and even like Niall Horan and just some of the new pop music.
I don't know any of those names.
Yeah, no, I know.
I don't. Now, here's the thing about me. Names of groups, of artists, titles of songs, actual words to songs. I don't know any of them. But if you play a song that's like popular, I'll go, oh yeah, I fucking heard that.
Yeah.
And I might even like it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to tell you for a million years what the fuck it was.
Who sings it or anything.
What did I have the one day? I don't know who, I don't know if it's a rapper, but it's like one of the guys who was like a singy guy. That it's, yes, I'm the fucking best at this. I'm the best. It was, I thought the line was, 'cause I'm the next Joe Perry.
Like Journey?
No, like
oh no, Aerosmith.
Right. I thought that it was because I'm the next Joe Perry, and so I'm googling it with my friend in the back of the restaurant. 4 days later, I figure out I'm the next Drew Barrymore.
Oh, that one.
Yes, and because he's looking at his phone too, and he's like, I said I'm the next Joe Perry, and all I just was getting Aerosmith shit coming up, like nothing about. I was so confused. I'm like, this is a really popular song. How is it that I can't fucking find this? And then one day I was at the other restaurant, and I looked at the tablet because we run Sonos system, and it was on Pandora. I'm like, oh, because you're a moron, and you had the wrong song name. You can't even understand what the dude's saying, and he actually was pretty clear when you listen to it. Right. Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, it is very clear in that song. Also, me confusing Joe Perry with the lead singer of Journey, by the way. Great. Yes. Cool.
That's also good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that you meant that he was the guitar player for them, but
yeah, no,
it makes more sense. No, we're doing fine.
Steve Perry.
Yes.
I mean, there's a Perry.
Right. Yes, that's what it was. Right. Yes.
So okay, so I'm close.
Yes. No. Yeah. I get it now.
All right.
Because I forgot. I was trying to think when you said the singer of Journey. I was like, I know this fucking name,
Steve
and I know
Perry.
there's a connection, and then you said it, and then
Patron. Thank you, tequila.
You are very welcome. What kind of host would I be if I didn't bring that for you?
That's right.
So everybody, welcome. This is just, that's going to be in it. Oh, that's good.
That's fine.
Back to the Apartment E3 podcast. Tom can't be with us this evening. He's busy working because he's a workhorse at 5'5" and 109 pounds of shredded muscle. I'm very jealous. Not of his height, but with us today is one of my closest friends who I never see, and our friendship started at her birthday party. I was out with Steve-O. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, oh, my friend Jess is her birthday. We're gonna go over to what was on Allen? It's on the same side as the Pink, but it's further down toward the bend.
Brick?
No.
Hardware.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd never been, and I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, sure. So we went over and hanging out with you and your friends, and I don't know anybody.
But was that before I saw you at the restaurant when you used to be a server at the restaurant on?
That was before, because it's when we met.
It was.
That's when we met.
Okay.
And so we met because that same night, we ended up going back to your house, and you had that little kitten that had the 5 toes.
Oh yeah.
That's a lifetime ago, right?
It was a long time ago.
So that's when we met, and instant friendship. It was kismet.
We clicked very quickly.
It was great.
Yeah.
And then we didn't talk for a while because of some stuff on my end of things. It's always my fault, guys. It's always me. It is. I've learned to accept that. That's why best being single. I have no one to piss off. It's easier that way. But this is Jessika with a K. Litterman.
Thank you for not saying Liederman, by the way. Even though it's spelled Liederman, so I can't fault people for saying that.
Is it though? Because it's not D's. It's T's.
It's one T though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's actually spelled Liederman, but it's Litterman anyway.
I don't know that I've ever heard it said.
Oh,
I just always
like
read it, but I just
everyone.
always read it that way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's why we're friends.
That's why we're friends. Because I assumed how a word should be pronounced, and I happen to be correct. That's why we're
Absolutely.
friends. Perfect. So, all right. Everyone who listens to this show, which there aren't many of, so I'm sorry that I might be wasting your time today, other than just a good
Not a
hangout,
waste.
knows how big a fan I am of Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is an incredible individual. He's a very smart person, though he'll say he's just a dumb chimp. He has a lot of friends that are very, very smart people. They're very athletic people. They're very outgoing people. They're very busy people. He's an incredibly busy person. He's the commentator for UFC for most of the fights. He's a stand-up comic, father of 3. I think his oldest is older and like out of the house and stuff. But
I didn't know he had that many kids.
his oldest daughter, I want to say, is probably Paige's age, like 20.
Okay.
But he's got an 8. Are they 8 and 10 now, or 9 and 11, something like that? His 2 girls, and then of course he's a world famous touring stand-up comic, and he has the Joe Rogan Experience, which is his podcast. It's the most popular podcast probably in the world.
Right.
He's a person who I look at and go, how the fuck do you have time to do all this shit? And then he looks at people like The Rock and Kevin Hart and says, how the fuck do they have the time to do all this shit? They're up every day before me, working out before me. And they're doing all this stuff. They're in movies. They're doing this. Kevin's still doing his touring. He just did that big special. In my personal world, you're my Kevin Hart, Rock Joe Rogan.
It's the sweetest thing
You
anyone's ever
are.
said to
It's
me.
like, so this is all I could think of at the top of my head is right as you were texting that you were here. Going back to Ed and Jess, that's where I met you. So you have Ed and Jess, right? And Jess and Nate, right?
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I have Jessika and the Feels,
Right.
Soul Patch,
Yes.
which I want to get into just a little bit because I'm such a fanboy, and then XOXO Pop Band.
Correct.
Is that everything right now?
That is everything. Yeah. I have, so Nate Kronk and I, we do a duo, and we're trying to brand everything just XOXO now. So XOXO Duo, XOXO Trio. Jessika and the Feels is going to be an original project. We're kind of transitioning everything over.
That's awesome.
The 3 of us are recording a lot of original stuff, which is really cool for me because I've done covers forever,
As long as I've known you. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I started singing out at Mr. Good Bar in like 1999, and I just kind of got thrown into the cover song world, and I've always wanted to record my own music, and now we have stuff going, so it's
awesome.
really exciting for me. Yeah,
You're such a talented vocalist.
thank you.
I've been at shows of yours where you see me get teary-eyed as you hit a note, and then I text you as I've already left. By the way, I'm crying. Thanks.
Thank you.
So that's awesome to hear that you're writing your own stuff. That's great that you guys are working on.
It's good, yeah, and it's so funny once you start writing, like it just kind of pours out of you. Like I have so many notes on my phone in the notes app of just like stupid melodies, and then the recorder app where it's just random shit that'll probably never come to fruition, but some of it is good, and some of it, I bounce off Nate and my friend CJ, and we kind of make stuff work. And I just want to be able to have like a 3 to 5 song EP, and when people are like, do you write your own music? Yes.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's the YouTube link. Here's my album on Spotify.
Right.
Boom. And then maybe I'll do more after that, but I just 3 to 5 songs to call my own with my friends is like
That's
a dream
awesome.
come true for me.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. You said once you start writing, it just pours out of you. I'm so far removed from a writing process. I mean, the last time I wrote anything, I think was the last time the band was together and we recorded it. It was 2002. Like it was forever ago. So, and even then I kind of struggled with stuff. I was never really a great writer.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. When it comes to, because you're a vocalist, right? Do you play guitar or anything at all?
So I'm taking lessons right now for the first time ever.
Okay.
And I'm kicking myself for not starting 10 years ago.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
All right. So, but as a vocalist, I'm going to assume that you're also a writer and that words are important to you.
They are.
Okay.
Lyrics are really important to me. And it's funny because I talk to my friend about this all the time, and he hears more of the music in songs, and I focus right on the lyrics. Like
Right.
immediately. It's always fucking lyrical for me.
So to that point, starting as a guitar player, right? When my brother and I would get together and we wrote all the songs for Never Too Late. When we come up with a melody, a harmony, a hook or whatever, we would structure the song. And then as we would practice out the song and we get the song structure down, I would just sort of, for lack of a better term, vocally scat what I believed the phrasing should be,
No,
and
I
then
get it, though.
picked
Yeah.
words eventually on a topic to fit the syllables that would fill those tones.
That makes sense.
And that's probably why I don't remember the words to my own songs. I forgot them constantly. I would turn around and go, what one is it? And here we go. I've been waiting for you for my whole life. No, that's the middle of the song. What's the first? I need the first line. We're about to start. We're on stage. There's like 20 people at show place going, the fuck is this?
Show place.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss it.
Oh, God. I do too. That place, that was a shithole then.
Wait, not to sidetrack, but like, there's a show there soon. I saw on Facebook.
They redid the place a couple of years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. Somebody bought it,
Right.
gutted it,
Right.
redid it completely,
remember
and
that.
then immediately put it up for sale.
Correct.
Because I remember Rob Cart posting about it. Who wants to buy who wants to buy a
Exactly.
place with me?
But there's, I swear to God, I saw on Facebook like last week, there's someone advertising they have a show there in the next month.
I mean, awesome.
Yeah.
Especially it was a cool shitty venue to begin with.
That's slanted.
Right.
The
Yeah.
slanted.
They straightened the floor.
They straightened it.
I heard they straightened the floor.
Oh man, that was part of the appeal.
Yeah.
It was part of the magic of
Right,
show
because you were
place.
just standing cascaded, so if you were
Yes.
short, you could just kind of back up a little bit and still see the stage
And then
because it was a movie theater,
and then
so
the
it had ramped
the
in.
seating, the seats
Yeah,
there.
they put those in
man.
afterwards, and people would just go sit there and just like, so you do a local show, right? Mm-hmm. You do a bringer show. You go over to ESI and you buy your tickets from Tom Barone for $20 for however many tickets it was,
Right.
And that's how you made sure, and then just you try to make your money back by selling to your friends. As comedy shows do it all the time. It's called a bringer show.
Right.
And then everybody that would be brought by the other bands would just sit in the seats until their friend's band was up, and they'd be up front row. Oh,
Right.
your band sucks, but I love you. And then they go fucking back and sit down.
Yeah.
And you always just try to get them, guys. Can everybody come up for all the bands? They're like, no. I'm like, cool, awesome,
Absolutely
guys.
not.
This is
Yeah.
fucking great. This is what a community we have.
I saw so many shows there. Two that stick out in my head. The last one I saw there was the anniversary.
Okay.
It was on the Your Majesty album tour, which was not a great album. I mean, it's good. There's like a couple of good songs, but like,
right.
what was it? The D in Detroit, that album, Designing a Breakdown, I think is the name of the album.
Okay.
That album's phenomenal, right? Like the anniversary, that is
Yeah.
their album.
Yeah.
And then I saw them touring on that on Your Majesty, and I was like, oh God! And that is burned in my memory as one of the worst shows I've ever seen at Showplace ever.
And so that, of course, is one that sticks out, not in a positive way.
It's not, but it's one of the last shows I saw there too. It might have been the actual last show I saw.
Yeah.
And then another show that really sticks out. So Stabbing Westward.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because I was 15 years old.
You would have had to been. Yeah.
Yes,
We're about the same age.
We are.
You're a little bit younger than me.
Yeah.
You're a lot younger than me. What are you talking about? You're 32.
Yeah, sure. Yep. According to my kid, I'm 31 because he knows
Because he loves you.
Because he knows what's good for him.
Because he loves you.
Although when he's pissed at me, he'll give my real age and be like, you motherfucker. Yeah, he does, and he knows too.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he figured it out. He's not just arbitrarily doing it. That's cerebral. He's
No,
messing
he's
with
smart
you from the
He's-
inside out.
He's a smart 8-year-old. So I was 15 and I waited outside after the show, and we waited by Stabbing Westward's bus, and Christopher Hall,
Mm-hmm.
the lead singer, came out and invited me on the bus. So again, this is in the 90s,
Right.
So
This
this
is-
is like 95. I'm
this is-
aging myself, whatever. This is like
It's
95.
definitely prior to Me Too. Definitely way before.
Yeah. Oh, so much before Me Too. Hashtag Me Too.
Yeah.
So I'm on the bus, and I remember before I went on, I asked him to sign my shirt, and he signed my chest, and
you're
invited me
15.
on the bus. I'm 15 years old. Invited me on the bus, and we ended up making out. He asked me how old I was. I lied, and I said I was 18. And then I think at some point he kind of got the feeling that I was too young, because he's like, "Okay, we're gonna go," and I was like, "All right, bye."
Yeah.
So then, like, the next day, I think I don't even know if Google was around there, but I remember I looked him up online on whatever the internet was at that time.
In 95?
Yeah.
It was dial up. It was 14K when it dialed in. But
Right.
anyway, go on.
So I looked him up, and he was 32. I was 15. He was 32. I am not proud of this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing. It's at the time I was just
Why would you be sorry
enamored.
for laughing?
I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, it's crazy.
to think about.
Nothing really happened to you. You're
Nothing
cool
happened.
with it. Right.
We made out. He signed my boob, like, whatever. But I remember I told my mom, she was so happy for me.
Really?
She's like, you made out with a real rock star? Because I was like, look, his video's at MTV.
Oh
I was
my
like, Mom, but he's 32. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God.
It was a whole
Well,
thing.
she came from a different day when if you met Robert
did.
Plant, you know.
Correct.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. So those are my two show
Wow.
play shows that stick out. There's a dashboard show in there that sticks out in my memory too, but those are really the main two. I don't know how we got sidetracked on show plays, but yeah.
Because of me not being able to remember my words and playing shows are so I just said
Yes.
show plays. So since we're there, the one that I saw, I think almost every Snapcase show that was there.
I've
To this
seen a
day,
bunch of
one of my
Snapcase shows
favorite bands of all time. Then we were there at the same time before we knew each other.
I'm sure we were. Yeah.
Like that really was the inception of infatuation with a band for me. Like I really liked Metallica when the Black Album came out, but I was like, yeah, it's fucking cool. But there's a lot of other shit on. And then I was really big into Nirvana, but it's like I never felt anything like I felt the first time I heard Caboose. You know, and so I saw them a lot. The show that sticks out the most in my mind there, though, I want to say Midtown was the headliner, but Taking Back Sunday was like the second headliner. Whatever the chronology
I've
is.
seen TBS there for sure.
And this is when Adam was all fucked up and drinking all the time.
With the microphone?
He took that. No, when he took the header off the stage and hit the security rail,
Yes.
busted his head open.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the one that sticks out the most in my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, is that guy dead? They're like, I don't know. We're going to come up next. It's really ridiculous. Actually, another time, I saw another show there, also including Midtown, where they were the headliner. And this is like, they just happened to be a really good punk pop band. They were good for their day. They
great,
put in a couple
yeah.
great records. I really liked them. They were all ringers from other bands, I guess. I didn't know any of their other projects, but I remember that Elliot was touring with them.
Elliot.
Do you know Elliot?
I do, yeah.
I fucking love Elliot. So, I'm standing there watching, just in awe of their drummer. If you remember the drummer from Elliot, that guy was just fucking incredible. Just the things that he would do was insane. And I looked to my left, and it's the drummer from Midtown who's doing the same thing. He's just in awe of him. And I was like, he's fucking great, right? He's like, he's one of the best fucking drummers I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
And this is from the guy who's in the band that's the headliner. And just
Right.
like, so for me, and I was 17, 18 years old, 19 years old. I'm like, oh, and this guy was probably 24. You know what I mean? He wasn't even that much older than me, but it's like, we're just watching this dude, and he's playing, and he loses his stick, and he grabs another one before you even know that he missed it. And it's one of those,
Seamless.
like, really good, like, fucking, what's the guy's name from Dream Theater who played with Avenged Sevenfold? Like, he didn't have a crazy kit, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right, yeah.
I bring him up because he's been mentioned on the show before. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
But those are the ones that stick out for me.
But did you go to Mighty Taco after?
Always.
Always.
Or first or before or after.
Oh, see, I only went after. It was
You
always
only
an
went
after. Always.
Typically,
yeah.
it was after. Sometimes you go before, but usually after.
I bet they lost a lot of business after show plays closed. Like they had to have
because
lost.
they closed.
They did close shortly after,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, there was a ton of business. Like that
Yeah.
place had shows all the time.
Yeah, and they stayed open late. Like they knew how to cater to that crowd.
I actually remember now, in thinking back, I saw Face to Face there a couple times, and the one time I saw them there,
I definitely saw Face to
the
Face.
time that I saw them there was the time.
100%.
So
that was a great show.
They were here late last year, and they played. Actually, middle of last year, they played the opening show at Rec Room.
Really?
It was before it was finished.
Oh man.
It wasn't finished yet. They didn't have an alcohol license, so they were just giving out bottles of water, soda, and Red Bulls. Like they were giving them out just because we didn't have a liquor license. It wasn't. I haven't seen the finished product in person. I've seen it all over Instagram. It looks great.
We played the Friends and Family, the soft opening. So I wonder if that was. No, I think I was drinking, so that must have been after.
It was the first thing they had at all.
Okay.
So it was a dry show, and Face to Face is on this acoustic tour for this acoustic record they did of all their hits. It's really good.
Oh man.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
So I'm watching them, and they tell the story about how the last time that they were in Buffalo, they played at Show Place. They remember the name of the place. They had put all their laundry in at the laundromat right near there and went over to Mighty Taco to eat. And when they went back to the laundromat, all their laundry had been fucking stolen.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
What kind what kind of city does that? I mean, that neighborhood. Yeah, I'm not super surprised.
No,
it wasn't even like
the best.
It wasn't even like,
location.
oh, you didn't come back and change it over, so it took up a washer. It was gone. Like I threw it on the floor. It's gone.
Just gone. Yeah.
So I thought about that and went, oh, I fucking I was at that show.
Oh man, I love Face to Face. They put on a good show.
Yeah, they sure do.
That was
My brother called me the bastard son of Trevor Keith because I had the goatee and I kind of sang like him, just in a higher register.
Nice.
I really emulated him a lot, and hopefully not in like a ripping off way, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I think back on those days, I'm like, God, it was so great. We could have been something. I'm like, no, you couldn't have been anything. But,
Dude, I want to start an emo cover band so bad. Like, I think everyone at this point, like, there's enough people who were super into it, you know, at the time that I think it could kind of do well.
I think so. Yeah.
And there's enough like quote unquote emo hits now from back in the day.
Well, doesn't Ring have isn't there like an emo
They do, yeah.
Or
They do like
live
the
band
pop
karaoke?
punk
Yeah.
karaoke thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bass player Tori is actually in that at
Okay.
Rec Room, so he does all that. But like, we do a couple songs. Like, we just added a couple songs with XOXO, and it's so fun. I mean, we do like "Sugar We're Going Down" with Fall Out
Right,
Boy,
right.
and a Blink song, just like that. Work sucks. I know. I'm like.
Oh yes.
I'm fucking drawing a blank.
Me too, but everyone knows that song.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And it's just so fun to actually like just hit it hard, you know?
Yeah.
Because so XOXO is a pop band. So a lot of the stuff we play is very key oriented, and there's not really any guitar parts. So like my musicians, my guitar player and bass player are kind of making
Stephen
up
Matucci?
parts. Stephen Matucci, who you know, and Tori Day.
I do. I don't know Tori, but I know Steve. And does Naomi still play with you guys?
She does not know. She has joined a different project.
Okay.
So we just got a new drummer, Tom Lafferty. He's
I know that
awesome.
name.
Tom's great. He's played in a bunch of different bands. He still kind of subs for a lot of other bands.
Okay.
This is his main project
I
now.
definitely know that name for
Yeah,
sure.
he's awesome. He's so great. Like, it's a new incarnation of the band now, and it feels
That's
fresh.
awesome.
And
Yeah,
it's
there's like a new energy in it. I know
new
Naomi
energy.
from Guitar Center. We worked together.
she's awesome. She's great.
And I
She's
haven't
great.
seen her since that time. So
Yeah,
it's
I
weird.
mean, she was our first drummer, and you know, she brought a lot to the project, and she was with us for like a year and a half. She's fucking so talented too. She could play every instrument. Like,
Really?
yeah, I will forever be indebted to her for like believing in the project and kind of getting it off the ground.
That's
and
awesome.
I wish her all the best. Yeah.
I remember when I started working at Guitar Center, I was like, oh, there's a girl in the drum department. That's weird. And you know, I'm 20 whatever years old, early 20s, and like, girls don't play drums. But I'm
Right.
like, I mean, but it's cool you play drums, you know, because it's a girl.
Well, you know what's fucked up is people would come to our shows, be like, "Wow, you're so good for a girl," and she'd be like, "Fuck
That's
you."
like when they say that to comedians when it's oh, you're really funny for a girl. It's like,
Right.
dude, go
with
fuck
anything,
yourself.
with sports,
Yeah, exactly.
anything. Yeah.
But I remember being super impressed because she did for a short time, I think, she was the drummer. She replaced the original member for a band called Thule.
I'm not familiar, but
They were a Canadian 3-piece female punk rock band
oh, cool.
that Harlan Williams, the comedian Harlan Williams, used to host some sort of like 30-minute half-hour comedy special on Comedy Central, and they were the house band.
Oh, wow.
I don't know that she was on the show, but I
Right.
knew the band because of that. And I'm like, oh shit, you played in Thule? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like, I was like, I don't know anybody else,
right.
you know. And then of course I meet John and Daryl and Frank and Dustin through Guitar Center and
Yeah.
And my brother works with Tim.
Oh, that's
Redmond.
cool.
They work together at Williams at least. Like,
Oh, nice.
they play in the teacher band every year.
Aw,
There's a
that's
teacher
adorable.
band, and of course Tim's in there with his kit, and he's like hitting like the monster that he is. And my brother's like, dude, it's a little loud. Nothing's mic'd.
We're just playing Wonderwall.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the kind
Yeah,
of stuff
chill
they'll
the
play.
fuck out.
He's like, yeah, he's just, there's no carpet, there's no cinder block, and the drum's just moving out, so he's pulling it back, and he's just playing. And everyone's like, oh my God, Dr. Redmond, because he's a doctor, he's a doctorate. And so everyone's,
Yeah.
oh, Dr. Redmond. I'm like, that's fucking cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, just going back.
Yeah.
See? It's
fun.
See? We never see each other.
I know.
This-
We really need to hang
Yeah,
out more.
absolutely.
Kids and life and, everything.
So you've got 5 projects. You've got 2
Yeah.
kids.
So duo.
Your,
Okay.
your
so
husband's in a band.
My husband's in a band too. He's in an 80s pop band called Invisible Touch. They are fantastic.
That sounds
They do like
creepy.
all fun. I know. Well, and people are like, oh, is it a Phil Collins cover band? They're like, nope. And actually,
Is that
funny
his
enough,
name of a song? Because
it is.
that would make sense that you say that, but I had no idea why it was coming.
Have invisible touch.
See? I don't know words to songs.
Yeah,
I
see,
fucking know
you
that
know
song.
it,
Yeah, I
you
know the
know
song.
it.
Sure. Okay. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
But they don't play that song, which is amazing. People are like, oh, do you play Invisible Touch? They're like, no, I'm sorry, go away. So that's good.
Actually, that's funny.
Yeah.
To the point where I appreciate that as a huge fan of comedy.
Absolutely, I respect that.
Do they
completely.
do it on purpose to where they don't play it on purpose
yeah.
just to say sorry we don't play that?
100%.
Then I 100% respect. It wasn't even an inadvertent. They're like, no, we're never gonna play this song, but that's gonna be the name of our band.
Yeah.
And Nick's not gonna know what the fuck we're talking about.
No, they're super fun. Like they play all the fun pop songs and like they got like 400 songs. They just fucking drill through them.
Damn.
They're so good. Yeah. He's a phenomenal bass player. Like he went to Berkeley for a little bit. Like he
Oh,
is,
shit. I didn't know
he's
that.
an amazing bass player. Oh yeah. If you ever want to get another little project started up, he's your man.
Yeah.
Swear to God, he's so
I'd be a
good.
waste of his time. I would. I really would.
He'd work with you. I think he wants to do like a 90s pop project, like a CNC Music Factory side
That would
side
be insane.
project.
I
Yeah.
am not cut out for that. I don't have the abs as that guy in the video. I'm the wrong skin tone, but I like where that's going. I'll go see the show.
Absolutely.
So you've got all that going, and then your job.
So I have a real full-time job as well. Yeah,
not just
like
a real
9 to 5.
full-time job. Not just this girl jet sets almost as much as Kevin Hart and The Rock do. I swear to God, every other week for a week you're in another city doing your job, and it's just like waiting in LAX again. I'm like, what the? How do you have time to have 5 bands, 2 kids, a husband, this crazy job, and work out all the fucking time?
It's
That's why you're in my Joe Rogan.
I don't know. It's kind of just in my blood at this point. Like I would get anxiety if I don't have a full schedule. It's I don't know. I've turned into this fucking crazy person, and I don't know. I love it. Like I love singing so much. I can't give that up.
You went from not giving it up by having a single project to having so much of it that it should be your career. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. It's just
no, it's okay.
I spent the last 2 weeks ruminating on this one. You said I can do the 8th, and I'm like, we're done. That's it. That's all I'm thinking about.
I wish it paid the bills well enough and paid health insurance for my kids, but it does not.
That is true. Those things don't come with it, but
it doesn't. But I don't know. I've been singing my entire life. Like my kindergarten teacher actually took me room to room because I kind of looked like Annie when I was little. So, I mean, shocker.
Right.
So she took me from room to room and made me sing Tomorrow from Annie. And that's kind of where I got the bug. I'm like, oh, people want to hear me sing. They like it. Cool. And that's, I love it. I love it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's fun. I don't know. Like it's cool doing the full band thing because it's new to me. We started in November 17 because I'd only done acoustic stuff for a while, like duos and trios, and I'm like, fuck, I really want to do a full band. Like I want to play these bigger shows, and I want to do festivals.
Well, I've seen you a couple times with Soul Patch, and that's like the full outfit, 2 guitars, drums,
correct, yeah,
and some real heavy hitters in that band,
dude.
Some real goddamn ringers. So.
I'm so happy to be a part of that. Like I joined late. I started with Soul Patch. So Soul Patch, for those listening, features members of Every Time I Die, Steve Mitchell and Keith Buckley, as well as Joey Andreaccio, and now Steve Ryder and Jeff Schaller on drums, who is also an insane powerhouse and one of the busiest musicians in Buffalo that I know. But I started singing just like one song with them every now and then at shows.
Yeah, I remember.
Love Fool by the Cardigans.
I'm pretty sure I saw their first show, which was at DBGB's.
Yes, I think it was.
Before they redid the back. It was just literally they had a stage and like a PA, but they still had the little booths in the back before they gutted it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit. The next time I go to see them, you were there. You were with them for the full thing.
Okay.
And this was at Ironworks. They were not prepared for that show at the bar. They had 2 or 3 bartenders on for 1,000 people in this room.
I remember. So that one sold out. That was like last year, I think.
No, that was a couple years ago.
Maybe 2 years ago.
It was it was before Nick was born, so it was like 3 years ago.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember looking out the window in the dressing room upstairs, and there was a line of people down the block, and we were like, "Holy shit, this is a fucking cover band!"
Yes.
Like, it's so cool.
I saw that. I'm like, "Oh my god, it was insane!"
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So I get to do backup vocals for them, and I get to do lead on a few songs, and it's just fun. We went to Brooklyn in March.
I saw
we
that
played,
too.
St. Vitus. I think it's St. Vitus, not St. Vitus, but St. Vitus is just like a punk rock club where Every Time I Die plays when they go there, and all the other those kind of bands, and we sold that out. So we did a little road trip to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
Super fucking fun. Got something exciting coming up, I think, this winter that I can't talk about yet, but
so you guys went to Denver to do a convention? And then you were also in Florida for a wedding?
Yeah. So my real job, I work with attorneys across the country. It's like a plaintiff lawyer convention type thing.
Yes.
And so they hired us last July to come and play the closing reception for the convention for like 2,000 people, which is amazing. So cool. So we did that. And then this past March, we got hired from that. Someone saw us and they hired us for their wedding. So they flew us down to Florida to like St. Pete Beach.
Yeah.
In March, which was amazing to get out of Buffalo in March.
Well, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to play at this beautiful hotel for a wedding. It was just, it's really cool. We're getting these really good opportunities, and we have a really busy summer coming up, and I'm excited.
I'm hoping to Christ I can make one of your shows finally.
Yeah, me too.
I either have the kid or I'm working.
Yeah.
So I'll have to keep a closer eye on the schedule and maybe take off from work or something.
That would be cool.
It would be worth my time to not work.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean that. It didn't. It started to sound like it was coming off sarcastic.
No,
I'm
it
going to
didn't.
not make any money so I can go watch your band. It's like I would much rather watch your band than make fucking money. Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's like my cell phone bill is late for a week. Yeah, fuck AT&T.
It's fine.
I've been with them for 18 years. They'll get their fucking money. But yeah, I just I'm always in awe of everything that I see. You're just everything you're putting, and of course, social media is a horrible monster, and it's a great tool at the same time.
It is. And
I just see your post, and just like, there's another fucking show, and then she's again, and just all. You did the New Year's Eve thing at Riverworks. That was sold out too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like 2,000 something crazy.
Like 1,300.
1,300.
Yeah. So we've done that the last 2 years. That's awesome because that's our demo, man. Like we play some bars, so we play all top 40 pop bands. So Lady Gaga, Drake, Rihanna, Justin Timberlake, all like kind of the younger stuff.
Yeah.
And it works at certain bars with like an older crowd. Like they know the songs because it's everything that's on Kiss and 102.5 and 96.1. So it's most of our songs are universally known. However, the 21 to 40 crowd, that's our fucking demo.
Yeah,
they know every single song.
Well, those are the partiers too.
Correct.
So you've picked the right niche to be in.
Yeah, we started the band too because there's so many cover bands in Buffalo.
There's a lot.
Kind of doing the same thing, and some are better than others, and everyone is they're putting out a great product, but it's all kind of the same kind of songs. And I just wanted to do something a little bit different. Like I saw all these kids were going out to see DJs. I'm like, well, shit, maybe we can play the songs that the DJs are playing.
Right,
so,
yeah.
We do is throwbacks. We definitely don't do everything super new. When I first started, we had a 5-year rule, like nothing older than 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
That was quickly changed.
I would imagine that would be quickly changed. Yeah.
We realized it was a little bit difficult. So we there's no more, year.
Do you guys ever go as far
anymore.
back as anything like Living on a Prayer?
Well, so we do a couple 80s songs.
Okay.
That's generally, enjoyed. So we do like Outfield Your Love, and we do Faith by George Michael.
Okay.
But mainly it's all newer pop stuff from the last 10 years. Yeah.
I only ask that because I imagine a sea of drunk 20 to 40-year-olds have some sort of connection with a song like that that's so anthemic. And it's like, well, you get to hour 2 of your 3.5-hour set and go, all right, you guys are not lubricated enough. Let's play one of those things you all have to sing to when there's the break, when the DJ hits the stop button.
So we said, we're never going to do Journey because it's just like, we don't want to do Journey. We've fucking played Journey. Like we have at like at weddings or like a certain, if we got to throw it in there, we will. I'm not knocking Journey. It's,
sure.
It is what it is. It's great.
It has
a good sing along. It has its place completely.
Yeah.
We just try to keep it more mainstream.
Right. Mainstream and current.
Correct. Yeah. And it's fun. And like, dude, I mean, so many of these bands though, like, they are doing Journey, and they are so fucking good. Like there are these cover bands in Buffalo that are doing all that stuff, and they are amazing. Like I am not knocking any band. Like I am in awe. I go to like if I can with my schedule, I go to see these other people play, and I'm like, wow, this is why you've been doing it for 15 years because you are really good at playing these songs. You guys are really great.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do something a little different. I just wanted to add a little something different to the music scene and try to just give a little bit more variety.
Yeah.
So
and I'm sure promoters, club bookers, bars appreciate that because the crowd appreciates that.
It's working. It was hard. It was hard at first to get people's attention.
That was a hard sell?
Yeah, a little bit. Luckily, I had been playing acoustically so much around the city that I did have those relationships. So I had the networking down a little bit. So it was easy to get in. I got to give a shout out to Sean Shearer from the Transit Music Lounge for giving us our first show before we ever had a practice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because he believed in me and he, he's like, I know you, I know what you can do. And so that really means a lot to me still. But yeah, there's some bars like, I don't know if you'd be right, and now it just works. It works. And we're doing, like Saturday, we're playing inside the KeyBank Arena before the Buffalo Bandits game for like
I just saw that post.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. It's
that's
going to be really
awesome.
fun just to kind of pump up the crowd before the
Didn't
playoff game.
you guys just do something there too recently?
We did the Frozen Four.
That was right.
Hockey tournament outside. They had a big stage. It was like a a big thing. It was super fun. So, yeah.
The thing that I've noticed in my elder age of having gone to see cover bands at bars and stuff is like, a lot of them are really good, and some of the dudes are real. It's almost always dudes, so sorry.
No, it's fine. You're right.
They're real passionate about that music, and it's older stuff a lot of times, and it's like it's a live person playing the song you'd otherwise be playing on the jukebox, right?
Right.
They might make the face that when they're doing the solo or they're really into it, but it's normally, I notice that most people in bar situations will ignore a cover band. It's just, you guys are playing. The one girl's like, the song ends, she's like, woo, I forgot you guys are playing. Back to talking about James, who's being a piece of shit to me again.
Right.
And when you guys play, just again, I don't have the physical personal experience because of my schedule, but when I see the things that are posted and when I hear and read the comments, people are watching you guys because you actually put on a fucking show. You put on a real show. You put on an actual. I see Matucci doing the fucking.
Matucci's doing his thing. Tori is like a monster performer too. He gets into it. Like he's hit me with his bass so many times. Like because I stand in front of Tori. So there's he's knocked me with the head of his bass so many times.
See Nate on the keyboard flipping his hair back that he has because he still has hair. That son of a bitch.
Barely. Come on. No, I'm just kidding, Nate. Sorry.
He's not one hair swooped around like some people. It's not like this right here, guys.
He's got a good head of hair on him. But yeah, Nate's super energetic, and when he's not playing, he's dancing and jumping and. We just try to keep the energy up. Like we want people dancing from beginning to end, and
that's picking the set list and having good presence on stage, and the energy that you provide as the lead vocalist, and just the way that you can help control and maneuver a room. It's not in a negative way when I say control. It's just like, oh no, you guys are gonna have fun tonight. Follow the leader.
Yeah,
and then you just go.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah,
we try. I just want people to have fun. I just want people to dance. Like. It makes it, and we feed off that energy. Like obviously when, we've played to crowds that just aren't doing anything. They aren't moving. They don't give a fuck. But as soon as you see someone dancing, it just like, even as much as you try to act like there's 1,000 people out there dancing, it makes such a difference when you get that
response for sure.
Feed off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The few dozen shows in my, time, probably really only 3 dozen shows.
Yeah.
In my entire time playing out, probably in honesty, there were ones that were pretty good, and there were ones. Most of them were like the bringers, where nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
A couple of the shows that I had that I remember specifically, the most people we ever played in front of was the one year we played Warped Tour. It was toward the end of our literally, and it wasn't like we were on Warped Tour. It was the local stage. For Line 6. And it was a lot of fun. Everyone was paying attention to us. Everyone was staring at us, but no one was super impressed. But they weren't being dicks, so it was just like, all right, this is about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah.
But the most fun show we ever had, the most interactive one was this. It's a pizza place and like arcade. I don't want to say bowling alley also. I don't think so. It's like a pizza place and arcade in Cuba, New York. Tiny little town. Like literally a strip. Like that's all that it is.
Yeah.
And it was our friends in the Piss Ants who were out of Dunkirk. For Dunkirk, Fredonia.
Great name.
The Piss Ants. Those dudes were good. I actually still have some of their CDs, I think. If anyone's interested, hit me up. They were really good. They were super fast, like really fast punk rock. Just, I can't even explain. I have 3 songs playing simultaneously in my head right now from them. They were way better than us. They were way tighter than us. But they invited us to go play the show. I'm pretty sure it was them. And it was just the sea, because it's all you could do in Cuba. It was Saturday night. It was the sea of kids.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, there's like grandparents, literally like 78-year-old grandparents in the back eating a slice of pizza going bopping to our fucking songs. And like, it was just, and no stage, just like a staging area.
Yeah.
And just, it was a lot of fun. It was just it was probably the most fun show. And I think if you ask any of the guys, Gary, Steve-O, Bob, they would say that, it was the most fun show that we played.
Yeah.
It wasn't to the most people, but it was definitely the most intense fun show.
It doesn't have to be the most people. It could just, as long as the energy's there, it makes it the best. Yeah. So Riverworks, like getting back to Riverworks, like that, like I said, that's our age group. So we had everyone singing along. Like, The Middle by Maren Morris, I stopped and 1,300 people were singing it back to me, and I was like, this is so good. I fucking love it.
Not Jimmy Eat World the Middle.
Not Jimmy Eat World, although we do that one too.
I know you do that one because I've actually seen clips, so I know that you do that one. I'm like, the Middle. Oh no, by the other person that I don't know her name.
The Middle.
Yes, and I don't know her name.
Yeah. But it's such a cool feeling to hear people like sing that back to you.
Like, that's fantastic.
One day I hope that it could be my song they're singing back to me like that. Like that is my fucking dream to be able to stop singing and hear that back.
Which project is that you're working on?
So that's Jessica in the Fields is the original stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have a lot of weddings booked this year too with them. So it's going to be a crazy summer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I won't see you unless I go to your shows. Basically what you're saying.
I mean, I have during the week would be preferable.
Maybe I should just
like Tuesdays. Tuesdays are great. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are typically cool.
Tuesdays I have the kid, but Wednesdays could work.
All right. We'll figure it out.
Or you could hang out with me and the kid. He goes to bed at like 7.
I like kids. That's cool.
Yeah. He's the best.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things anyone has ever said in my 40 years on this planet, just about, we're looking at the watch, it's ticking down, was when we went out to brunch. We were at Acropolis, and Max says to his brother, Miles, you're old news. As he's on his phone, he doesn't even look up. Miles, you're old news. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard a person say.
Because you had Nicholas there, right?
Yes, yeah. It was just after he had his shots and everything. It was past 3 months. So one of the first or maybe second time we've been out with him.
That's right. We were upstairs in that corner.
Yes, we were in that corner. Yeah. And you're feeding Miles and he's spitting. He's just being a baby, or whatever.
Yeah.
And Max is just on the phone, whatever, he's playing a game or whatever. Doesn't even look up. Doesn't break eye contact from his game. Miles, you're old news.
He's a funny kid, man.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. He's a smart ass. He's the best. And now Miles is so he's 3 and he just won't shut up and he's just going and he's hilarious now too. So they're very I think they got the best parts of both of us. Like they're very outgoing and
that's awesome.
They're both funny as hell and yeah, they're good boys. Thank God they're boys though.
Yeah. We talked briefly before the start, about relationships with our parents and stuff, and specifically so my daughter's 20 and you're just like, from 15 to 20 I was a complete dick to my dad, and that's what I hear from everyone I've ever dated.
It's true.
And they're just like, I was a piece of shit to my parents, I was horrible to my mother, and Paige was like always really good, and I was always painfully aware of how graced we were with having such a well-behaved kid.
Yeah.
And then I found out I was having a boy, and then she decided his name was Nicholas, and now he looks exactly like me, so I'm fucked. But it's just the dynamic between the differences and stuff, and she's funny, and sometimes she's intentionally funny.
Yeah.
But sometimes she's unintentionally funny. But she's getting, at 20, you're not finished up here yet.
Right.
You got 5 more years till that's done. Mm-hmm. But your personality is pretty well set in, and
oh yeah.
And she's a nerd, and I love it. She proudly waves the flag of being a nerd.
Good.
And it's great.
Good.
I don't know what my son's gonna be like. But so far, he's just like me. And that both excites me in a way to know myself at a time that I wasn't able to know who I was, but also terrifies me because of the stories that I know about myself.
I mean, I'm pretty scared about what's even going to be around when our kids are older, and Nicholas.
Right,
and so my kids are 8 and 3 right now, and social media is all it's like this huge thing now.
It's not even all everywhere. It is everything.
It is consuming.
It is everything.
It's everything, and the internet and just all that influence. So who knows what it's going to be like in 8 years when Max is a tween or whatever, or a teenager. It scares the shit out of me. It scares the shit out of me what kind of drugs are going to be around then.
Who knows, man?
I know what I did when I turned fucking 20, 20 to 23. Oh, I experimented,
Right.
And I'm just like, if my kids ever did this shit I did. But
right, think about this, though. Are you happy with who you are as a person?
Completely.
Then you wouldn't be who you are now if you didn't have those experiences.
Absolutely. I don't know. It's a parent thing, but
well, sure. You want to protect them. You don't want them to have the bad trip that causes a problem.
Right.
I get that.
Absolutely.
I completely understand that.
Absolutely.
As someone who is a proponent of the legalization of marijuana and psilocybin and things that shouldn't be illegal, but should still kind of be monitored. There are reasons to be concerned about them.
Right.
They're still a drug.
Do you see shrooms they're on the bill in Denver?
In Denver, yeah.
That's crazy.
Here's the best part about that.
See, for me, so I have done shrooms before, I will admit. But that's like weed, I can function in public and I can do stuff. But shrooms, I can't fucking leave the house.
Nobody's
so-
supposed to. That's the thing.
Okay.
You're not supposed to. I mean, if you're at
just
Burning
making sure
Man
that-
or whatever, and you know that you're circled in that fence and they have medics everywhere, then you're probably going to be
Great.
all right, unless you
Yes.
take like a fucking shitload of them.
Correct. Yeah. Like that's not like that's a whole different animal from weed.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. When I saw that was on the bill to be legalized, I was like, oh god. Like
Yeah.
Like I'm fine with it because it's a natural thing, but that scares me a little bit more than weed. I think like to have that be
something that's legal or
and easily
accessible to everyone, or specifically to your kids as you're talking about that. No, I'm being it's funny, but I'm being serious. Though, like
I mean both maybe.
Right. So here's as the fanatic of Rogan that I am, a lot of guys who do jiu-jitsu, not necessarily MMA fighters because they do get tox screened for everything. Although they recently sort of eased the requirements for weed, for marijuana in their system. They've actually dialed it back a bit. They can't have had it within a couple of days or something like that. It's not a hard and fast no anymore.
That's good.
But there's a lot of people in jiu-jitsu who will smoke a little bit of weed before they roll. And they say that it rather than slowing the reaction, it allows them to be more in tune with what's happening, and they react to the moves and almost do them without thinking, rather than overthinking things. It makes them better at the sport. Same thing, they'll microdose psilocybin. A lot of people will microdose psilocybin. He has so many people on that talk about this stuff who, and because of the decriminalization in some places and the legalization, you can now do the testing and things on them to know what the quantifications are, right?
Right.
You know that 3 shots of liquor at 40% or 40 proof or whatever, it'll, at your body mass times your height times whatever, it'll fuck you up this much depending upon whatever your tolerance is,
right.
But your alcohol level will be at this. They have no idea what it is because there's no regulation on pot.
Right.
It's so fucking strong now from what they're saying that, people are going into psychotic fits. There is proof that if you have a history of schizophrenia in your family, that there's a possibility that if you smoke it, and I think it has to be like a lot or often, that you can have a psychotic break and then you don't come back from that.
Seriously?
Yes.
I mean, that's terrifying.
Right. But if you're aware of that, once it's legal, and that's something that should be broadly broadcast,
Right.
do a 23andMe for $100.
Seriously.
Find out if it's in your history. Talk to your family nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Just doing a little medical workup, Dad. It's for a project for school. You graduated 2 years ago.
How crazy are you? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. To get that backstory, and if it's not something you should try, then don't try it.
Right.
But I mean, any more than alcohol is, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So, I would love to try DMT. I would love to have a trip where you start to talk to the fucking aliens that are on the other plane that are actually telling our government what to do. I've been listening to the Rogan podcast with Alex Jones today.
Okay.
That guy's fucking out there.
Yeah, dude.
He's out there. He and not in a defense of the dude. I don't know the guy at all. I don't really pay attention. Apparently,
He was on the Rogan podcast?
Yeah. They've been friends for like 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He just got kicked off Facebook, right?
He got kicked off almost every one of his platforms.
Okay.
He did not say about Sandy Hook what they said. He said it was taken out of context, and it was questioning information he had been given, saying, is this true? But in his animated style and being over the top. And it seems like that dude's on Adderall because he's always fucking going, and he goes from one thing to another. This podcast is almost 5 hours long, the one that he did.
Really?
It's crazy. He's just going the whole time, and Joe's like, I gotta stop you. Can we go back to the first thing? You said 12 things. That's the kind of guy this guy is. I'm not saying I agree with...
In my opinion, fuck that guy, though, so...
Right. And I'm, again, not defending...
Sure.
I don't know much of him at all.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued, for sure.
I get it.
When I'm listening to him, I'm kind of going, all right.
I mean, you can still listen with an open mind and try to understand.
It's some of the things he's saying, it's like, they're going back, it's like, they, in the 60s, that they detonated like 100 hydrogen bombs in the atmosphere to try to blow up the atmosphere. Well, that's been proven that it was true. That's been declassified. He starts going down all this roads, and I'm like... on a lot of conspiracy stuff, which I don't usually subscribe to, and now I'm kind of going, all right, I'll look at it.
Sure.
I'm not going to buy it hook, line, and sinker, but
yeah.
I just, but they were talking about different, drugs and stuff, and how, they're putting them in our water supply and shit. I'm like, well, I mean, all right. I mean, I don't know,
man. You bring up Sandy Hook and it's just like kids.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nope, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, it's kids.
What he said is that they didn't die in what was said that he said, I guess, is that they didn't die and that the parents were crisis actors, but again, incorrectly taken out of context.
Nope.
And look, I got 2. I know.
I know.
There was another school shooting yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Insane.
So And the one kid who got killed was the one kid who charged the gunman to save his friends.
No.
He was graduating in like a month and a half. It said.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a K through 12 school too. Like they showed the pictures of the little kids lined up outside.
It was full K through 12. So everybody was in there. So yeah, no, it's fucked up. Like I'm not, giving any leeway, but some, aside from that statement, which again, it taken out of context and wasn't accurate, I guess.
Sure.
Definitely some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So, but when it comes to, legalization of medical, so I think that my point was about once they legalize it, right? And this is something Rogan has said often. You can now start to do tests on it. You can now start to regulate it and say, okay, we know how strong this is. We actually, because it's no longer illegal, pot, for example, we can study all the different cannabinoids, the 98 or whatever there are, the THC, the effects that it has on different people, what benefits it has, if it actually reduces the swelling, if it helps with the eating, all the other things.
Seizure, like all the
oh my God, yes.
all the people who are so helped by weed, like it's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
like
CBD is legal in New York. Mm-hmm. Like you can get. I took a gummy a couple gummies one time, and like I had this shoulder pain that day, and 20 minutes later, the guy who gave it to me, he's like, "How's your shoulder?" I'm like, "Actually, shit, it doesn't hurt anymore."
Oh, great.
And like a couple hours later, it started to come back. So if I took a proper dose, I suppose.
Sure.
But it's like.
Yeah, but that's great.
But in that, for that little bit, I felt better, and it wasn't something like ibuprofen, which I'm prescribed, which destroys your liver, and fucking up to your stomach lining and shit. So,
right.
I just think there are some positives, but unless you are able to study those things, legitimately, doctors, scientists doing studies, breaking down chemical compositions, you're never going to know exactly what they can and can't do, and it's just all hearsay. It's all, what was the propaganda video about weed back in the day?
I learned it from watching You Dad one. Or
no. Well, that's the commercial that's really funny.
Yeah.
In retrospect, that's hysterical to me.
Is your brain on drugs with the eggs?
No. I'm talking like the 40s, 50s.
Oh.
What was the?
I don't know.
It was a whole campaign.
I only know the 80s drugs commercials.
It was dear God, about how weed is the devil. Oh, Reefer Madness.
Oh,
Reefer
shit.
Yes,
You're
Reefer
right,
Madness.
you're right.
Like that was the thing.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, all of that was actually started in part by what's his name, the newspaper giant that
Buffett?
Citizen Kane was about.
No.
Citizen Kane, right? The classic movie. Okay,
but I'm drawing a blank. Sorry.
Charles Foster Kane, and that was based upon the newspaper giant. I fucking hate myself right now. See,
okay, I said Warren Buffett like an idiot.
See, Tommy's normally here with the laptop plugged into the computer, and he just Googles it.
Ah, okay.
Oh my God.
I can Google it for you.
Yeah,
Hold on, I could try
if you would. Oh, sweet Jesus! It's who the movie was based on. He was a newspaper giant. He owned like every publication in the country almost, and because specifically hemp was a cheaper, more durable, more readily available product to make paper out of than trees were.
Hearst,
yes.
Yeah.
William Randolph Hearst.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Hearst Media still exists, by the way.
Oh, it does. Yeah,
does.
Absolutely. Patty Hearst. And
Yeah. They he actually was huge at the forefront of having it shut down legally because it was. I think he also owned lumber mills that made the paper that he printed his papers on.
Okay.
And because he was such a massively powerful, I mean, he's one of those first billionaire kind of guys.
Right.
That's why it's been illegal for so many years.
Ah.
There's a video out there of Henry T. Ford where he has a Ford Model something where the bumper is made out of woven hemp and he's smashing it with a hammer and nothing's happening to it. Because it's such a resilient fabric. It's the way that the fabric is woven when you put it together. It's super durable, really resilient, super lightweight. Like bamboo, it's crazy easy to grow, grows really fast.
Yeah.
So there's all these positives, but because it's part of the plant that makes the pot, that's why it's illegal.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. And so, for 100 whatever years, they weren't able to, test these things out to see what really works. And,
Right.
I don't know. It reminds me, what was that movie where they were in, I want to say the jungle in South America, and they were trying to find a cure for cancer, and they had come across something that had it, and they were still struggling to find out where they got it from.
I'm not good with movie references.
I know, because I'm not even going to remember the name of this. I don't remember who was in it, but it was a drama, right? and they found this something in this South American jungle that was a cure for must have been a specific kind of cancer, right? They found this isotope or something in something that they had gotten their hands on, and they couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Yeah.
As this section, okay, and so this lumber company comes in and decides they're going to try to take everything down because they own the space and they want it for the wood and whatever. There's the fight back from the scientists, and there's this big struggle. The end of the movie, the whole forest is burning down because the guy who owns the lumber thing decided to burn it to the ground rather than let them continue to do this and him not have what he wants.
Sure.
As this is happening, they discover it's this kind of ant that they've been dealing with the whole time that actually has the isotope in it that's the cure, and now they're all dead because this forest burned down.
The irony.
I can't imagine I ever remember the title of that. How do you Google that whole sentence, those 12 sentences to say?
I think like an ant fire and lumberyard, like at the end of that, like you
maybe
could figure it out. Yeah.
Like movie Ants Cure for Cancer. That probably would do it, actually.
Ants Cure for Cancer, lumber. Yeah. I mean, do you want me to do it
throw
again?
back to last episode. Did you hear about the woman? She wasn't Saudi. She was Kuwaiti, or is Kuwaiti rather. This is very recent.
Sure.
She's an academic. Not a scientist, not a doctor, she's an academic who came out and publicly stated that she has proof and evidence that there is a worm that dwells in the anuses of gay men that make them gay.
Oh, I have not heard this.
And their existence is to eat sperm. And so there is a lot of parasites on record, like what's the one that cats have that people can get?
Yeah.
That makes you crazy. That's why women aren't supposed to handle like cat litter boxes when they're pregnant.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I can't think of what it's called right now. But like those exist. There's crickets that have a parasite in them that make the crickets or the grasshoppers drown themselves rather, and then that's how they're born into the water. Like there's a lot of that shit that exists. So it's not completely insane, but it's completely insane.
Yeah. Completely fucking
And we talked
insane.
about it and we actually brought it up. So to that point, to Tom, I said I saw it on Twitter, and he goes, "How would I look it up?" I'm like, I don't know, type in gay worm, and it came up. It was the first fucking
gay
thing.
Worm
I typed in gay worm, and it was the first fucking thing that came up.
See, when I type in gay worm, I want like a picture of like a really flamboyant worm, like a cartoon worm with like maracas, just like fucking dancing and like fiesta.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it was all too accurate. It just pulled. It was the first thing at the top. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Oh, well, my gay friends, I'm sure, will love to hear this.
Yeah. And she. Obviously speaking in whatever Kuwaiti is.
Sure.
And so it's all like translated at the bottom. It's like, oh yeah, you're not we have crackpots in this country too. There's lots of them. One of them's running the White House. So
okay, seems accurate. Seems real.
Seems legit.
Seems legit. Yeah, for sure.
I saw that and went, oh, okay. This is the fucking crazy that we're living in?
Fuck, man.
Yeah. I said, okay, so then explain lesbians.
Yeah, right?
Thank you.
There's no worm.
I said, where's
the worm?
Where's the worm? There's no sperm. No sperm, no worm.
No sperm, no worm.
Hang on, I have to write that down. Hang on, no.
I'm going to get a bumper sticker
Tommy,
made.
we're going to make fucking t-shirts, bro.
Yeah. No sperm, no worm.
Oh my God.
No one will fucking get it though.
Patent pending. I swear to God. Oh, shit.
I think if I just made that shirt and like with no explanation, it would probably go over really well.
Oh,
like,
sure. I'm sure people would buy.
No sperm, no worm. That's fucking awesome. What does it mean? I'm like, don't even worry about it. Just enjoy it.
I saw it online. I wanted to buy it. It's just you have little business cards.
You
just
ain't
go to
got
this
that
link.
sperm.
Just buy
You
it.
ain't get the worm.
Yeah, no sperm, no worm. It's
man.
that's fucking good. Wow. Sometimes I have gems.
Good.
That's why I thought sorry guys. I've always talked about doing stand up.
I think you should.
And
I see you're very active on Twitter and like responding to all the comedians, and you're very funny. Fucking go do it.
I'm not very funny. I'm marginally
doesn't Helium
funny.
have the open mic? Like, have you done those?
I've never
Dude,
done anything like that.
Go to a Helium open mic.
I might.
That's the easiest place to start.
might.
What the hell's your problem?
5 minutes of material. I mean, I have the thing is, it's like with Guns N' Roses, right? When they came out with Appetite for Destruction, they'd had their entire existence to write that amazing record, and then they needed, we need the next record, but it's going to be a double album, so they wrote 2 albums worth of garbage, and you had November Rain on it. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Well, wait. I'm sorry. Wasn't Civil War on that one too, though?
All right, Civil War, November Rain, and what was the?
There's another good one.
What was the cover of the Wings song, the Paul McCartney song? Knocking on Heaven's Door. Okay, so you got 3 out of 28 fucking songs.
But those were so good.
They were well recorded. They sounded great.
Yeah. I mean, November Rain, I feel like fucking trumps everything ever.
It's a great fucking song.
Yeah.
I mean, that video alone, it's like 15 minutes long. Yeah,
iconic
it's so
video.
good.
Yeah.
But that aside, I could pull together 5 minutes if I really sat down and sketched it out. Sure.
think you
I mean,
could.
the thing is, it would all be self-deprecating, so most of my friends wouldn't
Great.
come
It'd
because
be
they're
hilarious.
tired of hearing me talking about myself.
No, I think you need to do a helium open mic. They have it all the time. Like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Just fucking put yourself out there. Who cares if you bomb?
Oh, I don't want to say I plan to or intend to, but it definitely is a consideration. I've listened to so many people talk about, my first time up, was at the show and I didn't know what I was doing and I fucking crushed the room. I'm like, this is great. I can do this all the time. And my next show was a week later and I fucking bombed so hard. I ate a bag of dicks and I'm like, that sounds like the general consensus.
It's kind of like music though. It's kind of like being in a cover band. Like the one show could be fucking great and you're like, yeah, sweet. This next show's going to be awesome. And then bag of dicks, like you said.
The parallel or the comparison rather that Rogan has said a lot, especially specifically to musicians, which I definitely see is, as a musician, in a band, you can practice. You can, granted, you don't have the interaction with the room, but you can practice to be tight together by yourselves before you go out to the stage. Mm-hmm. As a comic, you're not going to sit in the mirror. You might.
You could,
and do it. Oh, you know what I mean? Because you're only getting response from yourself. There's no barometer for the room.
Right.
To know, I played that song correctly. I got that. I got that solo in right. I played this fill. The right way this time.
Right.
We were just jamming. We locked in. It was great. Even if it's by yourself and you're just singing and playing guitar, okay, I feel confident now. I know where my changes are, my breaks and stuff.
I don't know. It's just fucking do it and record yourself and then watch it back. Just set up your phone and do 5 minutes of stand up and see.
Yeah.
Stop being such a pussy, Nick. Just do it.
Every time this happens, and it's always with Tom because he's my co-pilot, he goes, just do it. I'm like, yeah. That's exactly what I do every time.
Well, I'm telling you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Fucking do it.
Same.
Pull the trigger.
Yeah. Heard all of that.
Okay, well then stop and do it. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it.
I'm the fucking worst. You sure you want to hang out again? Is there anything that you want to promote? Is there anything you want to talk about? Is there anything that's on your mind? Oh, completely off topic. This is just, I'll put things on my phone of shit that I want to talk about on the show. Mm-hmm. I don't think this is something that Tom would equate to Tom. I just don't think it would be on his radar. Do you judge other people who don't recycle?
I do. But so recycling is a weird thing for me. So we have a recycling bin and I put, all plastics, all the cans, all like paper, anything we can in there.
Yeah.
But there's so many recycling rules now that I know that half of that shit in there doesn't actually get recycled.
Right.
But I feel like a piece of shit because I don't care enough to actually look at those recycling rules and see exactly what can and cannot be recycled. But I still feel like I'm doing my part because I'm putting them in the recycling
because you're rolling the dice on it, right? This might be recyclable, and the stuff that gets recycled.
But I travel a lot, and there's some states where we go and they don't have recycling, or just you just don't recycle. It's fucking weird to me, and I feel guilty as hell throwing a plastic bottle in the garbage can. I'm like, no. But yes, so to answer your question, I do judge people who don't recycle, who don't try at least. I don't do it the right way, but I try.
That wasn't meant to be a yes or no question. You did it great. You did
great.
Yes, I have 2 totes, one that's all cardboard and then one that's all glass and aluminum and plastic.
I definitely mix, but.
Well, I only had that because I actually used to drive everything out to Paige's neighborhood in West Seneca, 25 minutes away, because her apartment complex had the giant dumpsters that had this is for glass and this is for plastic, this is for cardboard. And we have recycling totes here, the big ones now. We've had them for a year now, which is really awesome because we didn't before. And everybody just threw everything in the garbage. But they're just one size fits all, just dump it in.
So
I could probably get away with one container and just have to empty it more often.
Right.
Which is easier during the summer when it's warm, but when it's cold outside, I don't want to go.
You don't want to go out? No, and who wants to do that? No one.
It's annoying.
I get it.
But
yes, if you don't do it, I will judge you for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, anything to promote? Anything you want to talk about?
No, just look out for XOXO around town, and I'm excited for the Bandits game this Saturday. And
so in addition to the Saturday,
sure.
As everyone ends, where can they find you? What's your Twitter? What's your Instagram? All the handles, everything.
Sure. So xoxopopband.com. Jessika Schreiber Music, Jessica with a K. Those are the main 2. Jessica in the Fields is at Fields Buffalo.
Yes.
So those 3, XOXO Pop Band, Fields Buffalo, and Jessika Schreiber Music.
And also,
And Soul Patch.
I was
Soul
just gonna,
Patch
I was
rocks.
just gonna say Soul
At
Patch rocks.
Soul Patch
Yep.
rocks. Yes, of course.
Soul Patch as well. Check, just check it out. She's fucking phenomenal.
Aw, thank you so much.
Goddamn superhero.
I
She's
love
my
it.
Joe Rogan.
I've never heard that before, but I will
She's like,
wear that.
I don't bow hunt, but I might.
I will wear that badge with honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been fucking great to see you. I
Yeah,
miss
man.
you so much. All right.
Super fun. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we were able to make it work.
Do we just end the podcast?
I think so.